guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And, I realized the Giants won a close game last night, 3-2 to the Padres, got off the snide, broke a 6-game streak. I realized it wasn't, because of the young dudes, but there was just a different energy at the ballpark last night, Goo. And one of the reasons why, I don't know if you saw this. This is from The Athletic, and Andrew Baggerly wrote about this. So yesterday, Tony Vitello did something before the game that I am a huge fan of.
Okay.
He didn't make a speech, but he sent a message. And that message was, he left 2 statistics on a white background in the middle of the clubhouse, just for position players
I have not heard this.
and for pitchers to go and see. One message was for the hitters, and it said, team, San Francisco Giants, on base percentage, 287.
Oh, that's an F.
Rank 30th. And right next to it, he also had a message for the pitchers. Team, San Francisco, walks per 9 inning, 3.9. Rank 23rd. He didn't make a speech. He didn't have to tell anyone about what their performance means and why they're 8 games under 500. He simply left 2 messages, 2 undeniable statistics about how both the pitchers and the position players have not been performing up to par. And to me, that's what a good manager does. He doesn't need to flip a spread. He doesn't need to rip anyone. He simply has to remind his guys that they are being paid as professionals to do a job, and they're not doing it. And what did they do last night? Yeah, they didn't score 14 runs.
I was just about to say.
Their pitching, however, was fantastic. The defense was great. They played more as a unit last night than they have in the last 2 weeks. I think it's a big reason why they won the game. And I think Tony Vitello, with that simple message to both sides, is telling you what he's trying to establish.
No, I love it, E. And, you played baseball on the college level. I didn't. But I will say this. I kind of like that exercise, but I thought about it after, we did our show yesterday and I was driving home and, a lot of darkness in Giant world right now. Willard, our guy, he was saying, this has been a hard watch and I understand all of it, but I thought about that road trip and it wasn't like they were getting beat like the Bad News Bears, neither here nor there. And I didn't say it on the show. I was like, man, they had it, right in their hands and they just blew it, 3 times. Okay. But I will say this about Tony and how that hit you, that exercise. I'm not saying I don't dislike it, but he is responsible for how this team performs. And he's responsible when they don't perform. And last night it worked. And, again, those numbers you just shared, and I like how he wrote it down. So I'm with that. But I'll just say this. The noise is going to die down and subside, and every other day, we're going to see Bryce Eldridge, in the lineup or whatnot. But I just feel like there's not a manual to be a good parent. But you got to try, right? You got to try. Some stuff's going to work, some's not. And last night it worked, Evan. So I guess I'm not telling you not be excited or not give Tony V credit for that exercise. But baseball comes every day. And tonight, hopefully they can keep it going. But I feel like I'm talking in circles, but help me out in regard to, do you find it offensive that I'm saying Tony V or any baseball manager is responsible for the product on the field when they're performing and when they're not?
No, I agree. I mean, you are what your record says you are. And right now the Giants are still 7 games below 500. Right. They are technically out of the cellar. They're a half game in front of the Rockies.
So no last place. I didn't even look this morning.
No, they're not in last place anymore. They might be by the end of tonight, but you never know. My point is, I think that Vitello has understandably been reluctant to try and step on toes, right? Because he's a first-year skipper. He's never been in the show before. You got million-dollar guys all around who have been here for years, or in the case of Devers, a decade. Chapman is 33 years old, has been in this league far longer than Tony Vitello is. And I think that it's been a wise choice to say, hey, all right, I'm not going to, try to light a fire under guys' asses. I'm not going to try and step on toes. I'm not going to try and be who I was at the University of Tennessee immediately. But the moment you guys show me that you don't have it, I might have to revert back to what's worked for me.
I respect that.
And that I can't, I'm with you. That I can respect.
Okay, no doubt. And Evan, maybe it's gone on too long to where, again, there's no comp to this because no other college manager's been put in this situation. But I would tell Tony V, he's not asking, but hearing you talk, I feel like you're the skipper for this show right now, and I'm ready to run through the wall. Be who you are. Don't hide. If you got to step on toes, and maybe some dudes need some fires or furnaces lit underneath them. And I didn't know Chappie was 0 for 17, but he's an established Major League Baseball player and hitter, so I expect him in the lineup tonight. But what I don't want is Adames, and I'm not picking on him, but again, there were some awful at-bats, I thought, last night. So if he sits out, I want Tony V to not be worried about, are we going to lose Adames, who's quote-unquote the king of the Gatorade baths, even when they don't involve him. I don't know why last night bothered me.
You didn't like that one?
Get to the cages, man. Let my man have his moment. But, he's been there when it was down, Adames, and I've commended him for not being a phony. But I want to see those same rules apply, or Tony V to feel like there are no eggs in this clubhouse. I was hired. We're not doing the job. And I don't care if Evan's going to throw a hissy fit. Hopefully he won't. But I want to see when those rules apply to Adames and Devers or any Giant that's kind of not, pulling his weight. So tonight I'm excited again to see the lineup, expecting Elridge to be back to see who will sit today.
Yeah.
Does that make me crazy?
No, I think you're on it. And I think, look, it's obviously all based on wins and losses. When you win, you can do what you like. When you lose, you got to mix stuff up.
Nice.
And that's what the Giants did last night by bringing up Eldridge, bringing up Rodriguez. You sent Encarnacion hiking.
Damn, that was bad.
You had McDonald, who looked really good.
He did.
I think a lot of people before last night didn't know who he was, and he's a top 15 prospect. He's a guy that is expected to, maybe push some of these guys. Potentially the back end of the rotation, Hauser,
Yeah, could
Mallon.
be some activity.
He was great last year at the end of the year against the Dodgers. He had a 12 strikeout performance in the show. He's a guy that he reminds me a lot of Landon Root.
Now that's interesting. So if it were up to you, would we see another start from him?
I think you got to give him one more.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and who knows?
The
maybe
Landon Root comp, maybe
that means
he's dealing.
You push a guy down the road.
Yeah. Especially one not performing, Well, because that's what this is about, performance-based business. And I don't give a damn about feelings, Evan.
That's what last night was about to me. It was about, okay, we got to find something that works. And last night, I know that they won 3-2, but it worked. So you got to keep trying to recreate that as much as you can.
I will say this because it's all about victories, right? Stacking them. I do wonder, because you talked about the big number, which was 3. Evan, when are we going? It's early, but it's not. And I know it's May, the beginning of May. But I am waiting as a collective for this offense to break out. Or do you think this is going to be what it was? Because 10, 12, and 14, you had Posey at I get it. But when you talk about boppers or my versions of boppers, when you have Adames and Devers, and I know I'm a one-trick pony, but I'm fixated on it. Like, if they don't snap out of this, then the Giants can never truly be the best version of themselves, right? Or is this what the offense is the output is going to be 3, 4, 2s, maybe shut out, which are leading the league in? Like, I'm waiting on that day for this offense to get going, led by the guys that are getting paid.
And they eventually will. Just because you sat Chapman last night doesn't mean he shouldn't be in the lineup tonight.
Gotcha.
And you might rotate around. The one guy, it's funny, like you were talking about, all right, who would you be afraid of losing? The one guy I would be afraid of losing is Rafael Devers. It's just because he seems like he might be a little more fragile than those two other cats. I mean, Chapman is a little different. I think he's comfortable with sitting last night, especially when Casey Schmidt hits a bomb in the first inning.
Oh, he crushed that.
He's been your best hitter so far this year.
I owe him an apology. I didn't, and Kruko was saying it. You were at the game, but he was saying it in the booth. There were times where Casey Schmidt, 2 strikes on him, was swinging when he saw the rosin bag like Eddie White. And I'm like, I feel that, but he's got an understanding of the strike zone. I see it. It's playing out. So, the sky's the limit for him. But I will ask you, because the day I was with Norm for heart surgery a couple of Thursdays ago, and I tuned in and you were giving it to Steiny. Yeah, I said it, Steiny. When he said, I feel like I don't know Devers. And you were like, do you feel like you know Devers? Because the reason I bring that up is you said how will he take it the day maybe he's scuffling and he sits? Do you think there will be a big to-do or he'll throw a hissy fit? Or would he be like, you know what, Skip, I'm one of the guys. Chappie sat. If you want me out, I understand.
I think it depends on how you do it. Like,
it depends.
I don't think that Devers would handle what they did to Chapman last night as well as Chapman will.
Wow.
Because clearly you're sitting Chap because he's 0 for his last 17 or 16. He hasn't had a hit in 5 games. And you want to make sure that Schmidt's lineup is in the bat. Schmidt's bat is in the lineup. Eldridge, Rodriguez. You wanted more offense in last night's game. Okay, so Devers, meanwhile, is a guy that I'm not sure if he's in a slump. He feels like to me like a shooter in basketball that's got to shoot his way out of a slump. And benching him or sitting him down, not playing him. That's not going to help him.
Okay. Because he is your best player to me, and I feel like you get a longer leash.
He should be your best hitter. I don't know about best player.
No, that, man.
The best player right now, and I guess I'll do it on the other side. But I do have to issue an apology. See,
but you didn't say he stunk. You did not. You thought this team, I don't want to speak for you. I'll let you do it. But I think you were thinking Adames was going to be doing what he was doing. Devers was going to be doing what he was doing. So I'm trying to defend you, Johnny Cochran, rest in peace. It felt like you were looking at the Giants at their best, and that's why you made that assessment about Arise. You never said he stunk, E.
No, I never did. But I also, and this is something that, maybe the Grandies, the Risottos,
my man.
People that, Dibs would like to put in their place. I got to be the bigger man.
Look at it.
And so on the other side, I'm going to issue an apology, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Take your time, too.
But 888-957-9570 is the number. It's not necessarily about the win itself. The Giants could lose tonight. They might win tonight and win the series. But do you feel like what we saw yesterday, the meritocracy, players playing who should be, and players sitting who should be sitting, who aren't producing, is that what you want to see for the San Francisco Giants? I hear from the 650, this is not rocket science. It helps when you have good pitching. Okay, so do you want to see more of Trevor McDonald? He pitched really well last night. He threw 7 innings of 1-run ball, struck out 8, walked none. He did exactly what they have not been doing as a staff, as a collective. He threw strikes. He got ahead, went after Padres hitters. Is that what you want to see rewarded? And do you think that someone like Tony Vitello is the guy to do that? Because I'm kind of feeling like, if Tony V is going to establish his culture, is going to do it his way. Sinatra, use it all the time. If he's going to do it his way, last night might be an example of how they start to begin rolling that ball.